20 years ago, a sensational murder case in New York made national headlines. A couple had been killed and their son had confessed. But now there's been a stunning reversal. 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty is here with the story. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning. We've been working on this case for 5 years. I'm surprised today is actually here. Marty Tankleff's case is a highly unusual one. There's no new DNA tests that have exonerated him. What has happened is that when New York State investigators re-examined the old evidence against Tankleff, as well as the new evidence that has surfaced, they concluded that the wrong man may have gone to prison 18 years ago.
How you feel, Marty?
On Monday morning, Marty Tankleff walked into a Long Island courthouse and got his life back.
Hey, Marty!
It's 20 years overdue.
Tankleff's ordeal began on September 7th, 1988, with this frantic 911 call he made from his family's waterfront Long Island home.
I need an ambulance. All right, hold on and I'll connect you.
Tankleff, who had just turned 17, found his mother Arlene stabbed to death. His father Seymour, also stabbed and beaten, would die a month later without regaining consciousness. Police immediately focused on the teenager and charged him. The smoking gun, a questionable confession from Tankleff, which he says was coerced.
Marty, did you kill your father?
Absolutely not.
At the sensationally publicized trial, Tankleff insisted he was innocent. But while there was no physical evidence tying him to the crime, the jury wasn't convinced.
How do you find, as to the defendant, Martin Tankleff, as to count 2, murder, second degree?
Guilty.
Tankleff, then 19, was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. From prison cells in upstate New York, Tankleff filed countless appeals, and over the years, new evidence surfaced that pointed to other suspects, most notably his father's former business partner. Finally, in December, a state appellate court overturned his conviction. And on Monday, the Office of the New York Attorney General asked a court to make Marty Tankleff a free man. Now 36, he is free to catch up on the years lost. And without a hint of bitterness, he seems determined to pick up right where he left off.
Going to college, catching up with friends, learning how to use the internet.
Well, Marty Tankleff won't officially be a free man until July 22nd, when a judge is expected to grant the New York Attorney General's request to drop all the charges against him.
Thank you, Erin. Marty is here with us now for an exclusive interview. July 22nd, all charges may be dropped. It will officially be over. What will that mean for you, Marty?
Finally, a sense of relief. It's 20 years overdue. My family and I have been fighting for justice, but we're not over.
July 22nd is when all the charges are expected to be dropped, but you've actually been out of prison since December?
December 27th, yes.
You get out of prison after 17 years. What was that day like for you?
Probably one of the best days of my life. Walking into a household full of family and friends and loved ones, it was just such a warm reception. It was great.
And this is a day that you had been fighting for the entire time that you were in prison.
6,338 days I fought for.
How were you fighting for it?
Every day I woke up and worked on my case. There wasn't a day that didn't go by that I did something on, helping myself. I helped others along the way too.
And Erin, in Marty's case, it was the persistence that paid off, because it's remarkable that there was no DNA that cleared him.
No, and I always worry, because we get a lot of letters, we hear from a lot of people, and I wonder about what cases I'm not covering. In his case, Marty also has this amazing family. I mean, one of the reasons why he's one of the most normal people I've ever met, has spent that much time in prison, is because he has this incredible family that has completely backed him on this, and really pushed. There have been so many people who've done it all for free too, and that's why I think this day is pretty exciting for a lot of people. The attorneys who worked on the case, PR people, family members, all these people who did everything for free, wanting to see him get out.
It is amazing that you have no bitterness. You seem to have no bitterness. What do you feel when you think about those 17 years that you lost?
It's hard to really express what I've gone through. It was a living hell for all those years. But bitterness isn't going to make me successful in life. And with the family I have and the friends I have, I only want to become successful and prove to everybody that I'm fine and I can go on in life and do very well.
And as a matter of fact, right when you leave here, you're going to continue fighting the battle, right? What are you going to do when you
Yes.
leave here?
As soon as I leave here, I'm testifying before the New York State Senate regarding wrongful convictions.
What do you hope
and
will come of that?
I'm hoping that there'll be some changes. Over all the years I worked in prison, I worked on a lot of guys' cases. Some of those guys were innocent, and hopefully I can help for them and make some changes.
And who do you think murdered your parents?
Without a doubt, based on everything we've developed, Jerry Stearman, Peter Kent, Joseph Creed, and Glenn Harris were all directly involved.
Who were they?
Jerry Stearman was my father's business partner. Joseph Creedon was an enforcer for his son's drug business. Glenn Harris was the getaway driver, and Peter Kent was another person involved.
Can you fight for a rightful conviction in this case?
My family and I will not stop till there's justice for my parents.
Do you think that that's a possibility, Erin?
Well, I mean, the state filed a memorandum and indicated in this, the New York Attorney General, that there wasn't enough evidence to bring somebody else. So unless they have brought up a lot of new evidence that points to other people, but I think it's going to be really tough. I know Marty's optimistic, but I think it'll be really tough to actually have someone convicted in the murders of his parents, and that's a shame.
That's a horrible shame. If I talk to you again in 10 years, Marty, where do you hope your life will be?
A successful attorney working to fight for the wrongfully convicted.
Family?
Family, wife, kids. Yeah.
You may still be working on learning the internet, though. It's complicated.
It's complicated. I've done pretty well since then, though.
Great, Marty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Erin Moriarty, thank you as well.